state of emergency declared by President Bola Tinubu in Rivers. At the commencement of the debate today, a rep member demanded a head count of members present in the session to ensure that two-thirds necessary to form a quorum were present in the House. However, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, ruled that the attendance register would be used instead of going for a head count. Also, reports indicate that the Green Chamber has adjourned until next week, Tuesday. In a related development, the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi has called on members of the National Assembly from the Labour Party to stand firm and reject the removal of Governor of Rivers State Sim Fubara. Speaking via a statement he signed and shared on his Facebook handle, the former governor stated that he refused to speak about the lawmakers because he wanted them to concentrate on doing their duties. He, however, insisted that the recent removal of Fubara has made it paramount for him to address them. He said, and I quote, "I urge you to stand as true defenders of justice. Do not participate in or support any action, decision, or vote that compromises the integrity of our democracy, undermines the interests of the people of Rivers State, or contradicts our core values of fairness, equity, and transparency. Since your inauguration as distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly, I have refrained from interfering in your legislative affairs out of respect for your independence and to allow you to focus on alleviating the suffering of the Nigerian people. However, at this critical juncture, following 26 years of a deteriorating democratic process marked by disregard for educational qualifications for electoral positions, massive rigging, and now the unconstitutional removal of elected office holders, I find it necessary to address you. These unconstitutional actions have far-reaching negative implications for our democracy and the will of the people. We must allow ourselves to become instruments of injustice. We must not allow ourselves to become instruments of injustice or contribute to the betrayal of the people's mandate." End quote. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a very recent developments, had disclosed that the emergency rule decision to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, disclosing that the crisis was at a perilous tipping point, threatening the security of vital oil and gas installations. The president, justifying his decision, said the Rivers crisis was undermining the national economy and the progress his administration has made in the reforms initiated since it commenced in May 2023. The president lauded the National Assembly for the ratification of the state of emergency proclamation in Rivers State. According to the president, the declaration of emergency rule is a critical step to restoring stability after a protracted political crisis that paralyzed governance in the state and endangered national economic security for over 15 months. He specifically commended the National Assembly's leadership, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, House of Reps Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, and other principal officers and members for prioritizing the security and welfare of Rivers State people above partisan interest and other considerations. He further acknowledged the lawmakers' diligent review of classified security briefings, underscoring the urgent need for intervention to prevent further escalation.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. A huge update.
Underscoring the urgent need for intervention to prevent further escalation. In a very recent development as well, the president is in a current meeting with the Asaba of Asaba, Delta State, Obi Professor Epiphany Azinge, a senior advocate of Nigeria, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The first-class monarch arrived at the meeting accompanied by several royal fathers who are suspected to be members of the Oberian Council. The visit comes in the wake of heightened tensions in some parts of the South-South geopolitical zone following President Tinubu's recent declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. The declaration had actually led to the suspension of Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara, his deputy, and the entire members of the State House of Assembly for an initial period of 6 months. Alongside the state of emergency, President Tinubu appointed former Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Ibok Etta Ibas as the sole administrator for Rivers State, further asserting control over the region during this period. Professor Azinge, the 14th Asaba of Asaba, was crowned Obi on 26th of August 2024, marking the beginning of his reign. Meanwhile, the sole administrator of Rivers State, Ibas, on Thursday arrived at the Rivers Government House. Now, in a very recent development, which a couple of people are speculating, is the fact that the renewed agitation for Biafra has taken a new turn, as notable ex-militant leaders, including government Ekpemikpolo, also known as Tompolo, Ateke Tom, and Asari Dokubo, have issued a stern warning to the Nigerian government declaring their support for the movement. The former Niger Delta militant leader stated that any attempt to suppress the Biafran struggle would be met with strong resistance, vowing that Nigeria will be hunted down if the demands of pro-Biafra groups are ignored. Tompolo, who was once the leader of the dreaded movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta, joined forces with other influential figures in the Niger Delta region to express solidarity with pro-Biafra agitators. According to reports, the ex-militants believe the federal government has continually marginalized both the Niger Delta and southeastern regions, failing to address long-standing economic and political grievances. However, the spokesperson for IPOB, Ima Powerful, has not responded to this supposed recent capital territory in Wike and residents affected by the capital territory in Wike and residents affected by the disaster. Nigeria's First Lady regretted that the incident led to loss of lives and properties and destroyed people's source of livelihood. Now, the National Judicial Council has faulted media reports claiming that the detained self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been ordered released and returned to Kenya by the Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman of the NJC, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. In a statement today, NJC's Deputy Director Information, Mrs. Kemi Ogedengbe, said there was no basis for such development because the CJN is currently not involved in Kanu's trial before a federal high court in Abuja. The statement reads that the attention of the NJC has been drawn to media reports that the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman of the Council, Honorable Justice Kudirat, has actually ordered the release of the detained leader Nnamdi Kanu and repatriated him to Kenya. The Council wishes to state that the media report is false and a figment of imagination of the writer, as there are no report or court proceedings, decision or judgment where such statements are ascribed to his lordship. The Council categorically emphasizes that the Honorable CJN neither presided over any case of Kanu at the Apex Court where jurisdiction issue was argued or made any of such pronouncement. In another development, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General...
Hold it there, my people. You've heard all that. My people, how are they today? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you're listening to the sound of my voice. Fellow Biafrans, today is the day. Today is Friday, the 21st of March. You've just heard a twist in the media. I chose to play the media from that zoo called Nigeria, so you can understand the sentiments, the twists and turns of the news coming from Nigeria. However, today is the day where our leader Nnamdi Kanu will once again be appearing in an illegal court and being judged by an illegal judge because the case itself cannot hold. We know that. They need to do the right thing in Nigeria. Send that man from where you got him from. You kidnapped him from somewhere. Send him back there and allow him to continue his journey. But no, in Nigeria, all things are possible. Also, my people, we've heard news about Asari Dokubo, Tompolo, and the rest of them trying to step in and say they are now for Biafra and all those things. Well, make we watch them. They are part of the eastern region, but we know the Biafra that we know is the one we shall follow. So if they want to be Biafra, if they want to join Biafra, they know what to do. They need to form a line and join the structure already on ground. I will not attack them. I will not castigate them because Biafra is for everyone living in Biafra and even in the bite of Biafra. So let's keep on watching, observing, seeing what's going on and see how things proceeds. Also, today is the birthday of our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Ekpa Simon and Joko. So fellow Biafrans, I want us to be strong. It's a day of a bittersweet. The bitter side of it is, watching again our leader Nnamdi Kanu go through the rigors in court because he'll be the one to, defend himself in court. But the sweet side will be our leader, Simon Ekpa, will turn 40 today. 4-0. And, that's a big one. That's a milestone. And we shall rejoice, we shall dance, we shall marry between, celebrate this special day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. We shall rejoice and appreciate him, giving him more life, prosperity, health, and more skills to lead us, more leadership qualities. Fellow Biafrans, this is all I've brought for us today. But throughout today, I'll be busy with the videos because we must cover up all the information when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu. We must find out what this new judge is all about. The one they call Justice James Omotosho. We must know and see his own perspective. We've heard some news, some news and noise in the background of his character, his integrity, and all those attitudes, but let us watch to see if he's got a trusting behavior, if he's trustworthy, and if he's got integrity and capacity to do what is right. Because in Nigeria, elephants can fly. No judge should be able to pick up the case of Nnamdi Kanu. They should all run away from the case of Nnamdi Kanu. But something strange always happens in Nigeria. That's the problem. As you see what is happening in Rivers State now, an administrator, ex-military man, had the balls to accept the role to be an administrator in a democracy. That man accepts the role to be the Rivers State administrator in a democracy. Even the deaf, dumb, and blind knows that's a no-go area. In a sane country, is a no-go area. Everywhere I've seen where they declare state of emergency around the whole world, it is to curtail the movement of the people, the liberty, the freedom of those people by putting in curfew. The government or the governor is always there. They don't sack the government and the deputy of the government. I mean, what has the deputy done wrong? Why sack the deputy? What has she done wrong? If you're really after the governor, then you tell him to step down and let the deputy continue. That would, at least to an extent, made a bit of sense. But no, you sack the governor, suspend the deputy and everything. That's just madness. That's reckless in a shithole country. I'm so glad that we have walked away from Nigeria. Soon and very soon, we shall be watching Nigeria like a TV series. Those that love Nigeria, when Biafra has left, we shall be watching Nigeria as a TV series. And also, my people, those that love Nigeria, we shall not allow them to have their cake, to eat their cake and have it. We will not give them the liberty to eat their cake and have it. What do I mean? Now that they are saying they love Nigeria, the moment we leave Nigeria and implement Biafra, they will want to come back. But we must make sure we come up with a very strict visa policy, a point-based system. That way, only the best of the best will be allowed back, because these guys, they've punished us. They know what is right, but they pretend not to know what is right. Hence, I'm pleading with the government that once our Biafra is implemented, we must come with a robust immigration system that will only allow those to migrate to Biafra land with the skills that we need. Because these people, they see what is happening and they pretend like they are dumb. They see what is happening in Nigeria. They pretend like they are crazy, they are foolish. They act like they don't see what's going on. So, in our visa system, in our immigration system, we must come with the highest level. So it's only the smart ones that will gain those visas to come to the land of Biafra. Because I know when we become a shining example to the whole world, those that live in this zoo called Nigeria, they will be applying for visas to Biafra land. They will come and cry and call us, oh, you're our brothers now, you're our sister country now, we love you, We love you now. No, no, please, no time for sentiments. Because now they know what is right and they refuse to do it. How can a man who was kidnapped from Kenya, brought to Nigeria, and there's a trial, and the people, the so-called citizens of that so-called Nigeria, nobody is revolting, saying, not in our name will the government of Nigeria do this? Not in our name. This man has been held for 4 to 5 years now. If he did something wrong, you would have charged him the very first week you kidnapped him from Nigeria. But no, they have no case on him. They have no case on Nnamdi Kanu. So we are saying, when we now have our nation called Biafra, we must come up with a very strict visa system that only the best of the best can be given access or visa, work permit, green card or whatever to come to Biafra land. I said it. Because these people, they've acted so foolish and stupid. I rest my case. I will be busy throughout this whole day covering the birthday of Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, His Excellency, and also covering the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. It will be a bittersweet affair throughout today. Very, very sad one and a happy day as well. We want to see what the judge in the case of Nnamdi Kanu will do. We want to see him. Today is the day. We shall see if it's even worse than Binta Nyako, because I know Nigeria very well. I know Nigeria very, very well. I know how they roll. I know how they act. They can do the unthinkable once money is dangled in their face. A man with a good character, a man with a good, history in his career, chose to become a criminal administrator, a fraudulent administrator in River State. He has destroyed his whole career for Tinubu and Wiki. That's how Nigerians are. They have no dignity. They have no dignity. In their so-called democracy, this could happen and somebody accepted the job. Very, very sad. I rest my case. Thank you all and God bless you.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Logan, Militants, Lord Logan, and it's wild Flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.